Look, the less you answer, the more it makes sense. Hello and welcome to the Talkcast Podshow, the #1 show on the internet and the keeper of Mr. Peanut's corpse. I'm joined here today by Grant and Stephan. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I forgot we have this perfectly thematic keyblade right here, so
These things rock.
Hi. No,
I'm doing. Fan made these for us.
Yeah.
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking, Nick.
Good. You guys have a good weekend?
Yeah. That was all right.
Yeah,
watched a couple. I watched one TV finale. Good Place. And that was quite the emotional roller coaster. Let me tell you.
Well, I watched the Super Bowl for the first time in
wow.
I don't know how many years. It was
The big game. I don't know if we're clear to say the actual words.
That's right. They always refer to it as the big game everywhere.
I'm pretty sure that it's a trademark thing.
It's a legal thing.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
People got sued to shit for using Super Bowl.
Don't sue me. I promise.
Well, no, you're not promoting your business.
Oh, thank God I'm not.
If you're not
I'm not even going to joke about it.
The large game, I have no idea its reach. So
yeah, it was a thing where bars, specifically in the cities of a Super Bowl, would promote it with the name Super Bowl, and they started getting cease and desists and whatnot.
From the NFL.
So they call it the big game.
The big game party here.
Written by John Williams.
Yeah, there you go. I watched that and all of the commercials that came with it. Hashtag baby nut, I guess.
I haven't watched any of the commercials yet, but I did see people lighting up on Twitter about the baby nut, and it's one of those things where I think you opened with like, oh man, whoever marketed this, but then it became like the top trending thing, and everyone's going to at least
sense.
Everyone's going to at least have input on hashtag baby
nut.
So maybe that was a brilliant move.
It was a tweet that I instantly regret. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. That was the correct choice. I mean, it's not going to make me go out and buy any more Planters nuts or anything, but it got people talking.
I would say, it sounds like Baby Nut is this year's Puppy Baby Monkey.
Maybe.
Do you guys remember that?
I do. Puppy Baby Monkey.
Nope.
It was the death throes of the random core advertisement.
Oh man, okay.
It was like someone obviously trying really hard to get that same appeal, and it's like, oh, it's dead now. You killed it.
And now babies are the big thing. You had Baby Groot, Baby Yoda, and now
man, I didn't even think about how the timeline with Baby Groot to Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Sonic
does make
Baby
sense.
Sonic. The Muppet Babies are back on the air.
That's true.
Are they?
I think so.
Kids Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, it's 2019 and 2020 year of the babies.
Year of the baby.
Babies. But we're not here to talk about that particular big game. We're here to talk about another big game. Kingdom Hearts 3.75 reminded.
You were close.
I'm not even trying, but I'm glad that I am.
Remind was part of it, but the 0.7 and it's not past tense. You were almost there.
Shit. Well, I did not play it, but you two did, and you two enjoy Kingdom Hearts, correct?
Yes.
I would agree with that statement.
I really enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3.
I was lukewarm on 3 to the point that by the end of it, I just kind of felt defeated by it and deflated. It was one of those things that it got built up so much in my mind. It's like, oh man, how are they going to cap this off? How's it going to go? And I'm not going to say it's the worst capper to a saga that I've seen even recently.
Within this year, let's say.
Yeah, continuing the streak of mentioning Rise of Skywalker.
2019 was a terrible year for ending anything.
It was not great. It was not great.
At least we had an endgame.
But yeah, so I ended, I finished off Kingdom Hearts 3 live on stream. We finished off Streamdom Hearts, and Sora just sort of disappeared from sitting on a tree. It felt very Final Fantasy VIII to me, and I felt hollow.
Well, hey. Were you wondering why Sora disappeared from that tree, maybe?
I was, but I was not curious enough to go ahead and get the DLC.
Well,
they do explain it.
They might just answer that very question.
They actually, I thought they were going to save this for a full game, but no, the DLC is what does Sora do when he goes off to find Kairi, and that's what the DLC is.
Okay, so there's that. Okay, so that explains why they were pimping out the fact that Kairi's actually going to be a pretty big part moving forward here. So that's what that whole marketing push was for.
No, I mean, like, you can play as numerous characters other than Sora now.
Oh, really? Can you swap
battles that we've had before?
Can you swap on the fly or like choose when,
or is it before
is,
you fight?
Okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because that would be really, really cool. And not that I think that this, like... I'll go ahead and throw this up front. I was not super satisfied with this DLC personally. They make some really cool decisions, and they do some stuff that I like, but it's kind of one of those too little, too late kind of things for me. Because, like, yeah, if you were able to swap characters, like, more regularly, like, that would have been really cool. With the way this DLC plays out, you kind of replay the last chunk of the game just from slightly different perspectives to learn more from it. And in those specific fights, you can play as the specific characters they involve. Where it's like, all right, here's this fight that involved Sora, Riku, and, like, you know, whoever they're fighting. It's like, so now you get to choose, do you want to be Sora or Riku for this fight? And then it's like, all right, here's this fight that involved Sora and Aqua. Do you want to be Sora or Aqua? Oh, here's this fight with Sora and Roxas.
And you almost always choose the one that you're never playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I will say, one thing that I was pretty happy with the DLC, actually. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, to be perfectly honest. I got what I expected. And I also just went in pretty blind. I didn't really know what was going to happen. And
I feel like that's the motif with Kingdom Hearts. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's go.
You know,
okay, now there's a bigger guy with a white cloak. What's his deal?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, with Kingdom Hearts 3, I think part of the reason you might have been disappointed, and you can confirm or deny this, is that you weren't necessarily invested in the entire story. You were invested in the story that you saw in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Well, here's, like... I would have agreed with that if we hadn't made a big deal of going through and playing through every single game, except for the mobile game.
Yeah. Which turned out was way more important than
anything else, apparently. But I will say that at least knowing the base lore of all of those games going into it, I was able to follow some things, but I was not able to keep track of every single proper noun they were throwing at me, and that took me out of it. It was what really took me out was the pacing of Kingdom Hearts 3.
That was a problem, for sure.
It was like you go to this place and you resolve all that world's problems, but you don't move anything forward in most cases.
Yeah, like, I maintain this, and I think I might have said this before at some point or another, maybe not, but I think everything that happened in that game could stay exactly the same if you just reorder it.
Maybe.
So, like, the first thing you do is you save Aqua, right? In Kingdom Hearts 3. Spoilers, by the way. If you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3, why the fuck are you here? But was that a harsher way of putting it than I should?
No, not really. I mean,
I feel like that's common sense.
Yeah, if you're not looking for spoilers for the base game of Kingdom Hearts 3...
Don't show up for the DLC discussion.
You know, we aren't getting into the spoilers of the DLC yet. We'll let you know when we do. I feel like everything so far has been mild.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I guess we can put spoilers in the title, too. But
sure, absolutely.
But, so the first thing you do is save Aqua. And then, like... And this happens at the end of the game, where, like, all of a sudden you're saving everybody in a row.
Yeah, all at once.
If they just, all right, you play the first 3 Disney Worlds, go save Aqua. You saved Aqua. She's around now. You play in the next few Disney Worlds, go save Terra. Not Terra, Ventus.
Yeah.
Go save Ventus. You saved Ventus. Cool. And then, like, just keep doing that and get all those things that they shotgunned at the end throughout the game, kind of like Kingdom Hearts 2 did. And
That definitely would have been better if you had, like, structured and paced things out.
Yeah.
If Sora didn't,
it wouldn't have felt rushed.
If Sora didn't spend 75% of the game trying to learn Awakening, but then
that's the thing.
Then doesn't do that throughout and just kind of learns how to do it in 1 minute.
That's the thing. They put so much emphasis on him learning the power of Awakening, but nothing we do in the Disney Worlds helps with that, really. And so it was like, you could have just like, hey, you kind of understand Power Awakening, you saved Aqua.
Yeah.
Ventus, you understand Power Awakening even more, you saved Ventus. And just have it be
a progressive thing.
And I've never minded just going to the Disney Worlds and just experiencing those, because that was the charm of the first game. I wasn't playing the first game because I'm into this, like, anime story where I need to rescue sleeping souls. It was like, okay, here are some princesses. Maleficent wants them so that she can do evil shit. Don't let her do that. Stop her. Okay, I'm going to go fight Maleficent. Then the second game started adding all the anime, like a lot more of the anime bullshit.
I will say, I would have, like, I liked the Disney stuff pretty good. I hated Pirates of the Caribbean, which is so weird for me because I'm very, like, almost famously now a Pirates of the Caribbean fan.
Yeah, you have a viral video out there.
Yeah, I have like an 8 million view video on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Feel free to go check that out.
You can. It's gotten hit with limited ads, though, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Limited ads are still ads, Stephan.
Still something. But, like, you can't find it. Like, they stopped pimping the video at all.
Oh, that's sad.
That's what it happens. That's YouTube for you. Yeah, I hated the Pirates of the Caribbean one, and
It was just such a different level, though.
Yeah, well, and also just they changed everything to the boat shit, and part of the reason I think I was underleveled for the final stretch of the game was because as soon as I got the boat, I went directly to the end of that fucking state. I didn't do anything in the boat except go to the end. I still was able to beat it because base game is pretty easy, and I'm not even a hardcore gamer guy. It's just pretty easy.
I think they were looking at that level and saying like, hey, you know what people really liked? People really liked Assassin's Creed Black Flag like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that level started. Probably 5 years ago when Black Flag came out.
Boat combat seems to be the new thing. We should probably throw that in that Kingdom Hearts we've been working on.
Boat combat for babies.
Let's do it.
But
let's have a boat race where you fight ghost ships, and no matter what you do, you'll probably win.
Yeah. But I think that like what I really loved though, I loved the like Toy Story went on a little long, but I loved that Toy Story was a new story with the characters I liked.
It had some of the most infamous moments, like nobody loves you.
I loved it, probably. Nobody's ever loved you before. Like and I.
This is ridiculous. You're just from a video game.
Woody's just thinking this is the perspective of a toy that's never been loved. It doesn't have the implications of a human.
But it's still like
shit! You just got shut down.
Still a sick burn though.
It's as sick as a bird as Woody can give, I think. But this is the same guy who, like, one of his most devastating lines was saying, "If the boot fits," and someone acted like that was the worst thing in the world. He said,
"Whoa!"
But yeah, like, and Monsters Inc. also did that, where they kind of had a newish story.
Yeah.
And if all the worlds did that, I would have been having even more fun. I was having fun, but like. Tangled, like
as opposed to like Tangled and Frozen, where you're just kind of playing through like some of the bigger beats of the movie, but not really affecting any of them, and just sort of like existing in that world while everybody else is trying to resolve their shit.
Why don't you see this movie scene where we superimposed Sora in the background going, and I was there?
Yeah, and like.
Or we took Flynn out of that romantic boat scene entirely, but for some reason you still really care about him at the end
because you've seen the movie. But yeah, like if they'd done that throughout the entire thing, I don't know. I feel like they need to get on the side of just make a new story with these characters and that's more fun. For
exist
us.
In their world, because I loved the Toy Story level. I'm glad that's probably why it's one of the first levels. Is they so lovingly recreated, Andy's room.
Yeah.
And then you go to like this cool new area, this big fucking mall that just has a whole bunch of toys and stuff in it. It is a cool level.
Yeah, absolutely, and it kind of reminded me of the Toy Story 2 game for the
a bit,
64,
yeah.
And that was like some nostalgia for me as well.
I was less so on the Monsters Inc. level. I do like that they were doing something different with it, but the level felt very samey as you went through it.
Lots of corridors.
Unfortunately, it's in a warehouse full of doors, and it's like, well, there's only so much you can do with that.
Well, to be fair, there is a lot that you could do with that. What if you're running through all the different doors and like you end up at that camp that they end up in Monsters University or something?
Well, yeah. Well, and also there's thing like if you go through the doors and you go through different like human world levels, that'd be really cool. That'd also be really resource intensive.
It would be very weird, but
requiring a lot of new assets for everything and just.
It would be really weird, but if it's anything that like I love most about video games, it's impossible spaces. If you like games that will all of a sudden like you open a door that should lead into a closet, but instead it's you're at a beach now. Like I love that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, and also, like, it's unfortunate that they kind of left the worst for last with the Disney Worlds.
Yeah.
Which one was the last one?
The last ones were Frozen, Pirates, and Big Hero 6.
Oh, yeah. Big Hero 6, like, I like that they included it, but it was one of those movies that I'd already forgotten about by the time I got Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, like, Big Hero 6 seems like kind of almost like a perfect movie for this to take, because I think Kingdom Hearts is really good at making you think differently about movies that you hadn't really considered, or like making them like oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about that. That's like, because like I don't know about you guys, but when Tarzan was in Kingdom Hearts 1, that was like oh yeah, this movie. Like I didn't like, it's not really a Disney classic that I think of too much.
I had never seen Tarzan at that point.
And like they kind of like,
but it works into the theme really well. And like, and there's a lot of stuff that you can totally do with Big Hero 6, and I think it's cool that like the Baymax that was essentially abandoned at the end of the actual movie is the villain for that world is really cool. The problem is they give you this big sandbox with like nothing in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's some new ways to move around. We're going to introduce glide and stuff to you around this time.
Which they kind of had to at that level.
Yeah, like you're going to get a bunch more mobility because you've got this big ass thing to go through, but there's not really anything.
There's nothing there. You feel like you're running around everywhere. One of the most infamous moments for me when we were playing, I never found the map to that space, and we got lost. It's like, where am I supposed to be?
Everything looks the same. Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, I think they should have done, like, Toy Story and Tangled, and I'd say even Pirates. Like, Pirates, for my problem with Pirates was actually the cutscenes, because nobody sounded like anybody from the actual things except for the one guy who was actually there, which I think was Gibbs.
See, I paid so little. Like, I mean, I've seen the first 3 Pirates movies. Yes, I've seen the initial trilogy.
You saw the 3 mostly good ones.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the other ones, and I really watched them. I know I watched the first one a few times, but I watched them mostly once. So like, the people not exactly sounding like they're correct actors didn't really hit my ears weirdly at all. So
Davy Jones was the one that pissed me off, because that one's very specific, and the guy said nothing. He was Scottish. He's like,
the wrong accent.
Hello, I'm David Jones. How do you do? That's not how. That's not how Bill Nye talks.
I'll admit that even though like I do have kind of like an ear for that sort of thing, it didn't bother me that much. What bothered me on that level is the technology was getting to the point that they were trying to do this sort of like realistic looking space, but it comes off just a little too uncanny valley at that point, especially with Donald and Goofy there.
No, that's what makes it work.
Can you imagine if they were an actual dog and duck?
I will say, and Goofy had keys in his mouth the whole time.
Yeah. Carrying around a shield.
I will also say, like, and this is very nitpicky. This is again like a Pirates fan thing, but Port Royal is a bad, like, their version of Port Royal was fun. Like, it's pretty good. But Port Royal is a bad location to pick. Why not pick Tortuga?
It would be more interesting and with more pirates and stuff like that.
Maybe they just couldn't show hookers.
There'd be too many sex workers at the dock, and they're
also
like,
every time you see Tortuga in the movies, it's always like dingy and nighttime. So I think they wanted something that was bright and sunny, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
we can't have Sora in this environment. This isn't family friendly.
Some women like propositioning Sora for sex.
You got to Disneyland it up.
Sure, I'll open your heart.
You got to.
He does a thing like, what the fuck?
They just have to Disneyland it up, okay? They aren't prostitutes anymore. They are just female pirates. Do you remember when in Disneyland they decided to redo the Pirates of the Caribbean ride so that instead of like the woman slave market that they had going on, which, you know, I agree, probably take that out.
Gross, yeah.
Change that up a little bit. Probably
it's
not
part
great.
Of the time.
It
You're
was.
really in pirate land.
Admittedly, it was.
But maybe don't make like that kind of kids. Isn't this fun?
Yeah, look at that. Some of these
Check it out,
so
children.
instead,
hey, little girl, look at this.
So instead, they changed it so that now there's a pirate woman there. It's like, we're going to go get adventure. Let's have a toast to rum. But all the side characters,
female pirates.
Yeah, all the characters on the side still have all of their same yar as they did. Was like, who wants to buy this lady? Yar!
Yeah. And also they added just a lot of Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
In like every sequence.
I don't necessarily. I wish that one of the parks didn't. Because then you could have like sort of the classic ride to it. Like
Disney fans have this thing about history, and I think it's just one of those things where if you're a Disney park fan, you just gotta accept nothing stays.
Time is moving on.
Yeah, it's why when
it's
they
like life. It's impermanent.
It's why when they announced that they were changing the Hotel Tower of Terror over in California Adventure to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, I'm like, oh no. Tower of Terror is one of my favorite rides. Now I have to go to Orlando again before they tear that down and replace it, which was always weird to me because you figured that you'd leave the Hollywood Tower of Terror in California, in Disney's location. California Adventure.
But, you know, it's a tourist destination and they want to pimp the stuff that they got. And,
yeah.
And, you know, also, like, it's still Tower of Terror just with a different facelift.
Like, it is a little different, saying as somebody who's ridden both.
I mean, yeah, you know better than me on that.
Yeah, the Tower of Terror. I mean, it's got like a really cool setup. I could talk Disney all day. I'm a fucking Disney park nerd.
I think this worked out because we're all also just Disney fans.
Yeah,
so.
like my experience is primarily as far as Disney parks. I went to Disney World a lot as a kid. I went to Disneyland once, but it was so long ago I barely remember it. And I think it's been long enough since I've been to World that a lot of the stuff I remember from that has changed.
Do you have a favorite ride, like one that just kind of sticks in your heart as like a nostalgia bomb?
Disney World nostalgia for me was the Haunted Mansion. Going through that, I loved that thing.
That's mine and Erica's favorite ride.
Like I definitely as a kid rode that. That was the one that's like, is this the park that has the Haunted Mansion? Let's do that one. That's the one I want to go through.
Magic Kingdom. Do you have you been to the parks?
I've gone twice in my life, both when I was pretty young. One when I was a teenager, so I wasn't that young.
Right.
I've unfortunately just never been a ride person. I fucking hate roller coasters.
Well, then Disney parks are better for you anyway.
Yeah. I hate roller coasters, and like the other rides are like they're kind of just slow, and like you appreciate the scenery. Like the Star Wars ones now would be more in my speed for sure. So I guess the one I liked the most was probably Star Tours. The classic Star Tours in '98.
Star Tours isn't bad. I mean, like I don't think they do the Death Star trench run anymore as the ride. Like they have a whole bunch of different scenarios that they'll fly you through now. It's neat.
I think I got to ride on the original one. Like it was Disney World. So yeah, me and my dad went on that because my dad's raised me on Star Wars. So.
Yep. That explains a lot of things, honestly. Yeah, we could talk about Disney parks all day, but I think we'll roll back into Kingdom Hearts. And before we get into spoiler territory, would you recommend the DLC? As far as like have you like on your level of enjoyment?
I would say there's some good stuff there. I think $30 is maybe a bit steep for what it gives you. But if you have liked Kingdom Hearts up to this point and consider yourself a Kingdom Hearts fan, I think you will not be disappointed. That's what I would do. Yeah.
I'd say you will have fun if you're already interested in the DLC. Like
if you were already like, oh, cool.
Yeah, if you're someone who feels like you're done, you're done.
Right.
Like, you're not going to get anything out of this really. Because if you're not already invested in saying, oh shit, what happens next? You don't care what happens next. And it's going to be just like the other stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're in for Nomura's bullshit, then you're in. And if you're not, you're not. And this is a lot of Nomura bullshit.
And as far as plot goes, I'd say this more or less explains stuff that already happened and is not so much about new stuff. And that's I think there's a lot
of stuff that probably belonged in the base game.
Kinda.
But I don't mind it being told this way.
But yeah, if you're someone who's like, I need to know what's next for Sora and the gang, like this doesn't quite get into that so much as it's like, I need to understand what Nomura already showed me in that first game or third game, I guess. Seventh game, whatever we're calling Kingdom Hearts 3. But yeah, it's more supplemental to Kingdom Hearts 3 than new stuff.
Okay, about how many hours of content would you say you got out of your $30 experience? I know you can't just quantify dollars to hour here, but
the plot portion of it, I would say, is about 4 to 5 hours, and then there's the kind of like boss rush fight all of Organization 13, and depending on how difficult of a time that gives you, can make your time really, really long, like me, because I'm just the kind of person who, when he fights a hard fight, he just keeps bashing his head against it and isn't going to learn. So, those fights took me a while, and I actually haven't finished them yet. So, technically my time is still ongoing.
And I don't care about any of that shit, so I just went to YouTube for the ending cutscene. So I got the 4 to 5 hours of the story, and then I moved on.
All right.
But like, it's one of those things where if you're waiting for like the how Kingdom Hearts 2 had remix, this is that.
Okay.
This gives you the remix version. It gives you critical mode. It gives you boss fights that you can just play that are pretty hard. Like I picked the easiest one to start with, and I was like dead in like half a minute. I was like, okay, I don't feel like
I'm good.
One of those things where it's like that kind of guy. Where basically even on standard mode, it's like you should max out your level before trying this.
Yeah, and I'm like 45 or something. So,
and that can that can take its own amount of time there, and you don't want to ride that boat. So
yeah, no, I'm not a grinding person ever. So
I've never particularly enjoyed it myself. So now I guess we'll move into spoiler territory for the story of what happens after Sora disappears from that tree.
Now, here's the thing. We could get you into there, but where they start, they open up with... Actually, I think there's a couple scenes before this, but the first like really big revelation moment I had is we see a young Xehanort speaking with a hooded figure that we've seen many times before, but when we hear him speak, it's the Master of Masters
from the mobile game,
from the mobile game, and from that
the one who like ripped his eye out and put it on a book.
Yes,
yeah, and in a sword.
Oh, in the sword,
right? Sword, so he could write down in the book everything that I saw.
That's what the book was. Gotcha.
And he's true to form. The most fun of any of the characters.
Hamming it the hell up, doing all the
hand what the fuck's going on?
He's Kingdom Hearts Palpatine.
He's Kingdom Hearts Deadpool.
Oh, man.
But we discover that he's the one who gave, and I don't know if this was known before, but we see him giving Xehanort the magical dark cloak that lets him go through darkness and not get tainted by it. And basically getting that whole introduction and being like, nah, someday you'll outgrow that jacket. You're going to become so powerful, the darkness is going to obey you, and you won't have to worry about it. But I'm too scared to ever take mine off, which is just a fun little line from him. But after they kind of go back and forth and we hear more about Xehanort's motivation, which is he's like, everyone is a fake good. Like, everybody has evil in them. They like to pretend to be good, but all they're doing is just staving off the evil that's growing in them. It'd probably be smarter for them to just be ruled by darkness instead of pretending it isn't there. And so that's kind of what starts him on his path to do all of his evil stuff that he likes to do.
Including playing evil chess.
Yeah, just going like, hey, you know what? Bad guys we're all already bad. Why not just admit it? Is basically what his position.
Basically showing the Master of Masters as the guy who gives Xehanort the nudge and created all the problems in all of the Kingdom Hearts games we've played so far.
But as they kind of leave that conversation, Xehanort's like, I'm not satisfied, though. Before I go, I want you to tell me your name. Like, what is your name? And the game lovely goes ahead.
Black.
Silences it. No,
even worse.
Yeah, he goes, my name is, and the subtitles are just underscores, and it just sound dips out for a second.
I hated when they did that in the first game.
They keep doing it.
But we see Xehanort's face look shocked and like, what?
He knows that name.
And he goes, just refer to me as one of the Lost Masters. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my line in the sand, my theory. Kieran and I have tossed this theory around kind of jokingly before, but weirdly enough, this cutscene cemented it for me as being possible, if not true. I think he says Sora. I think Master of Masters is Sora, this crazy time-traveling, outside of time, just character who's just a goofy cartoon. Because this whole, the theme of the story of, this DLC is going back in time to mess with stuff has a high cost. And you never get to go back to being the person you were after you time travel. So I think that the cost is going to be Sora kind of losing himself and becoming this weird, crazy, time-traveling spirit man who's actually setting into effect all of the events that will affect his life. So it's this weird, self-fulfilling prophecy character.
Predestination paradox.
And I think that's going to be the big twist Nomura throws. And me and Kieran have been saying it since 2 years ago.
But this young Xehanort, how young are we talking? Is this
This is
this isn't like kid playing chess Xehanort.
It's right after that, I would say.
Okay.
I would say it's short. It's
around the time.
Yeah. They give us, after that cutscene, there is a 75 years later text. and
I will say, just to note here, I think the one we see in the chess thing is around that same time, because remember we saw Xehanort back in the day on Paradise Island?
Destiny Island.
Destiny Island, Paradise Island.
Same thing.
On Destiny Islands being like, this place is too small, being the older version.
Yeah.
So I think he just, in the pre-rendered cutscenes, just looks a little younger, like everybody does.
Mm-hmm. They're all anime boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they cut to 75 years later.
Yeah, and that's when we see the Organization 13 from Kingdom Hearts 3, as we know him, Xehanort's posse.
Xehanorts and a couple of people that are kind of Xehanort.
Yeah, Xehanorts and a bunch of fractions of Xehanort. And they use this scene to explain, because I'm sure you were wondering. I know you were asking the question, how did they come up with both Krosecz and Xion in their teams? Because obviously that doesn't make sense. They have no bodies. How would they get there?
They were. Do you mean Dark Riku?
Was it? Oh yeah, that's right. They explained Dark Riku in this one.
Yeah.
Oh good, great. I feel my brain trying to split itself in half now. Let's go.
They explained hey, Dark Riku doesn't have his own body. He's a data person, and Xion doesn't even exist.
Yeah. None of us remember Xion.
We
just found records of her, and all of us saying it was real at some point.
And then scientist one, whose name I always forget because who gives a shit.
Vexen?
Vexen, yeah. He has his little dolls.
I just always thought that name was cool.
He has the little dolls that they just get the hearts into somehow. They don't really explain that part.
Voodoo shit.
Replicas.
Yeah, the replicas, and that's why we call him Repliku.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that cutscene basically existed to have a conversation between the bad guys going so here's our team. We're short 2 because we need 13 though. And then like Xehanort basically Xemnas popping up going like, actually we've got 1 more. We found this replica that we could put a soul into, and that'll work. Neat. Well, we still need 1 more. Then like another guy chimes in. Actually, what if we had another one
that we didn't even know they existed?
Yeah,
what if
none of us knew existed?
What if we just make a person?
Seems like the perfect pawn for this. Here at the end of days, this character that mattered that we all forgot because that was what we built them for.
Also, she doesn't remember at first anything.
Yeah.
So it's just Shion just shows up and they're like, oh, we found Shion and Vexen's data, and we brought her into this doll.
So answering the important questions.
She never died the final death, so she can come back. What is the last death? The last time anybody ever thinks of you?
They actually did have moments of that where they're like, you have to have that just so we can have these guys around, kind of. Man, it's just, it's one of those things you just go like, okay, whatever.
But after we get those little things filling in some sideline information, we cut to Sora's perspective, and it's him doing the whole thing where he's like, well, things won't be right until we find Kairi, so I'm going to go. I've got the power of waking, see ya. And we get to see the continuation of that scene. He goes to the realm of, what is it, Ocean and Sky or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
where the plush babies live.
Yeah, little plush baby kid lives. And he goes here, and that's when plush baby gives him well, look, I can send you back, but this is going to be the last time. Whatever happens, you got to live with this. And by the way, you can't just be doing this. This is going to cost you. This isn't normal. yeah. People don't get to do this for a reason, Sora. And
you're fucking with the natural order. They say that a few times. Yeah. And
a nature taboo is what you're committing right now.
And they're also Chirithy also says, oh, and you have to go through the hearts of your friends to do it because you already exist.
So that's how they explain you going through the fights as other people, or
a little
basically.
Bit, yeah.
It's like
even though you still play as Sora for the majority of it.
Hey, I know me. I'm my own best friend.
But it's like, all right, the only way you can travel back in time is through the hearts of people you cared about who were present at the time.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're going to get there. So first thing we do is we come through Ventus when Ventus is fighting Terra very briefly when they first meet. And you kind of just get to see things again. We get to see Donald do a Zeta Flare again, so fun times.
Yeah.
Also, so this would be easy to miss, but at some point, some voice just says, "Hey, leave Ventus's heart alone.
Oh yeah,
he's too pure." And so I was like, "Okay,
stop it.
Whatever.
Don't mess with it."
It's like, who is that?
And it just goes, "I'm darkness. Don't worry about it."
Which is a connection to the mobile game, and I'll tell you guys about that
later.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, because I was confused by that, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys about that after this.
So darkness tells you to leave Ventus alone.
Yeah,
he's too pure, and pure hearts can be manipulated or something.
Yeah, they're easily deceived or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
He's a real gullible boy. Just don't.
Stop it, get out of there.
He's a fucking idiot. Just leave him alone.
He's a pure boy. Just let him sleep.
And we don't get a ton with that, but we fight what was kind of like the secret Heartless boss in Kingdom Hearts 3, which is just like this shadowy dude with 2 big swords and like a flowing scarf. And it was like an event fight you could do at the Keyblade graveyard that didn't seem to have any sort of story implication. Apparently, that's just something in Ventus's heart or something, because that's immediately what you fight after you talk through this darkness in his heart that's like, don't talk to him, leave him alone. He's easily tricked.
Yeah, and you very quickly realize that this DLC is just a big boss rush.
Yes.
That's the impression I've been getting so far. It doesn't sound like they're adding any new areas for you to really explore.
You get to kind of walk around Scala ad Kylum.
Yeah, there's a bit more of it.
The place where you did the last fight. You walk around there a little bit more, but there's not much as far as exploring.
One thing that I haven't heard about so far that I have that actually kind of flavored what I believed this entire DLC was about was Isora. What is Yzora?
Oh, Yzora?
That's a very, very end of the DLC thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the thing I've been hearing the most about throughout this.
It's like in Kingdom Hearts 2 Remix when you fought Terra's armor, without knowing that was Terra's armor at the time. It's that kind of fight.
Okay, so you go into his world, because that's another
some story implications, but there's 2 different endings. We'll get to that, I think.
Because that was another post-credits thing in 3 where him and Riku end up in fucking Shinjuku. It's just
or Shibuya.
Shibuya.
Yeah, and that's not any more explained, honestly. We get some tidbits that are very interesting, and we'll get to that.
Yeah. There's at most implications.
But very, very fun ones.
Yeah. Meta fun stuff. But so basically we go through a couple key fights that you remember from the end of the game. It's like, hey, remember that time when Riku has to fight his evil self and Ansem and stuff.
Remember when we were running around the maze?
Yeah, and you're running around the maze and stuff. It's like, hey, you know what? What if during that fight you could be Riku?
And they at least don't make you do the stupid time trial to get to the gate. Again.
Yeah. They take out
They took that out.
They take all the annoying parts out of the maze, luckily, and so it's just go to the fight, please.
Yeah.
But you do that, you redo those fights.
You can play as Riku in the Sora and Riku fight. In the Sora and Mickey fight, you have to play as Sora. They don't let you play Mickey, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like a contract thing where it's like, no, you're not allowed to play as the Disney characters.
You do get to play as Mickey later.
Yeah. Oh, that part's pretty hype.
Okay. That part's real cool. Because you mostly do those fights again, and I think the characters you get to play as are Riku, Aqua, and Roxas, right?
Yes, those are the only ones. And in the Axel and Kairi fight, you just have to play as Sora again.
Yeah, I remember in Kingdom Hearts 2, like whenever you got like that special, like Sora died and Mickey would show up, you got to play as Mickey there for a little bit and play as like little Mickey Yoda.
Yeah,
Mickey gets his moment. Like
good.
But you basically do those fights again, and history is essentially playing out the way you remember. It's just Sora is in these other people's hearts, so he is getting to see their perspective and how they felt, and you see
a bit more story here and there, but very rarely.
Yeah, it's mostly like character flavor stuff, I'm guessing.
Usually, it's the stuff that before Sora shows up, you see some discussion that happened just before then.
Okay.
Yeah, like just characters kind of talking to each other and being like, why this fight matters to them, essentially.
Cryptic hints about things is kind of like the new meta when it comes to stories and games.
The only part of this that I like really kind of appreciated is it's glossed over a lot in the story. Aqua spent like decades in the darkness and surrounded in this like pit of despair that she just lived in for a while.
And fighting evil versions of herself the entire time.
Yeah, and like just basically literal personifications of her own self-doubt and like, misery. So when Sora visits her heart, he's like, I've never felt so much sadness. It's like this is something I don't understand.
I really liked that because like basically it's like Aqua is more scared than Sora has ever felt in his life all the time, and she's fighting anyway. And
poor Kingdom Hearts waifu must protect.
Exactly.
I mean, like it really solidifies her as the best character almost, just because she's like fighting through more than anyone else emotionally.
Yeah, like she has like all this emotional baggage that Sora is like when he enters her heart for a second is just like this. How does anyone live this?
Yeah, basically he feels her PTSD for a little bit. And it's overwhelming.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's good, because that's a character that we don't like, that we kind of forget that stuff happens to once the story starts going.
Yeah, when you played her tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, she's been doing that for years.
And like it's so good just because her exterior, she always looks like she has everything together, and I think it just gives her so much
cool,
depth.
Collected.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's like
simple and clean.
Yeah, those rare moments where Numudar actually does something like completely
insightful.
Right.
But so like we get that, and after all of that stuff is when we kind of start tripping into new territory, because Sora using his time. What is it? Does he go like, wait a minute, I can travel through people's hearts? He's like, Xehanort's heart is basically a time machine.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, he's a portal and a time machine. And
so he's like, I can use his heart to go somewhere.
Basically, yeah.
Oh boy, that's a whole can of worms.
I still love the line like, Xehanort's a portal. Which I heard it again. And it was like,
thank you, Mickey.
We have to talk about it. When you hear, like, I was thinking this just before, like, so they're bringing Xehanort back, and there's old Xehanort. Rutger Hauer passed away. Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
It's like, oh shit, is that fucking
Christopher Lloyd now plays Xehanort?
Wow.
Because
and I had no idea. So when I heard, I was like, what the fuck? That's awesome.
Because I hadn't thought about that either. That Rutger Hauer was the replacement Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
And so and then
we need another sci-fi legend.
Okay, maybe stop hiring the really, really old guys. Theory.
Next time they need Xehanort, unfortunately, Christopher Lloyd will be passed. Christopher Lee did pass. And then they're gonna get Patrick Stewart or something, or Ian McKellen.
It's a cursed role.
Stop, please.
He's like Superman. But Christopher Lloyd does a great job.
No, yeah, I really like his Xehanort.
He doesn't have like the guttural sound of either two, but he's got performance going for him there.
I can already hear the voice he probably used.
Oh yes, the hearts.
It's Rasputin from Anastasia. That's what it is.
That was the voice I imagined.
But it's good.
But yeah, after you replay a bunch of fights, getting to pick different characters, which by the way, they are not leveled up to your Sora's level. They are, kind of just what I assume was like
where they should have been at the time.
The expected level. So if you're me playing on like a hard difficulty, but you maxed out your Sora, so it doesn't matter, you're still tearing through everything. Switching to those other characters made those fights a little hard because all of a sudden I'm not level 99 with all the ultimate gear. I am now level 45 with the gear I'm expected to have.
I was playing standard and most of the fight, except for Xehanort, I died on Xehanort at the end. I died on once, but I pretty much blazed through it, even being underleveled and on standard. But
when you were bouncing through the other characters, I imagine they all have like their own different I know it's all match this until special thing pops up.
Pretty much.
But were there any move sets from the characters that you really liked or really felt like a connection to and would actually kind of want to play that character more?
The only one that really stuck out to me that felt really good was Krosecz, because he has his dodge move is this long ass lightning teleport. You basically feel like
nice.
Naruto character.
And they brought back reversal.
Oh, yeah. So
you can use reversal whenever you want.
Yeah. So while you're comboing, you just hit triangle, be like, whoop! Now I'm right
behind him.
I'm behind my enemy
nice.
now, and that stuff felt real cool.
Frankly, when you're controlling Krosecz, he's the hero. Krosecz moves fast as shit. He
feels like a main character.
Dog Street Ride or Die, man.
Exactly. But yeah, I would say of the characters you get to play as, he would probably be the one that I'd be like, I'd switch him in for a couple fights for sure.
He's OP.
Yeah.
OP is fun.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you get to play through those fights, and then when you get to use Xehanort's heart as a portal/time machine, you go to Scala at Kylum. Just what is it, a bit before you get there
you're
in the
half
game?
An hour before anyone shows up. But when Sora from that time shows up, your Sora will disappear.
Okay.
So he has to get all these pieces of Kyrie's heart and save them.
That's right. I fucking forgot.
In
that
these
works.
puzzles that are pretty easy.
Is it like a time trial as well?
No.
I gotta be there.
Luckily, no. But the cutscenes imply that that's basically what they have to do.
But yeah, and then Xehanort's there, and he's like, you're running out of time. I know what's happening somehow.
And then I'm aware of everything at all times forever.
You went through my heart as a portal.
Yeah.
Smart move. Almost didn't think of that one. Luckily, I've split your friend's heart up into 7 pieces to make it harder to put together. Good luck.
Yeah, and there's also some extra talk about, you brought a princess of heart here, you fucking idiots.
Bringing that whole thing back.
Yeah, they expand a little bit more. You do realize I need them for my evil diabolical plan, and you brought one to me, right?
They're my contingency plan, and you brought one.
Thanks, idiot.
Yeah, so
bunch of little not even boss fights. You just fight the little phantom dudes, right?
The little skull-headed things.
Yeah, one of the
or just heartless in general.
Yeah, and you go through the same fights with those 13 different goat mask guys again. You just do that again, which that fight was easy the first time. It's easy the second time,
especially now that you're way leveled higher.
Yeah.
But you go through that. And then, is that when it cuts to the perspective of everyone else? And that's when we get the really cool new stuff in my opinion?
Yeah.
Okay, so after the first couple hours, it gets good. Every Square.
Yeah. Of this 4 to 5 hour story, it's in the last hour. Yeah. Is when the stuff
it's not not having fun, but this is when it's oh shit, yes.
Yeah. This is why I got this.
I wish this was this stuff. I really wish it was in the base game because it was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes the finale feel way more like a finale.
All right.
Yeah. So we go back to the Keyblade graveyard where everyone else is kind of hanging out and waiting for Sora to come back.
They're keeping Kingdom Hearts from spreading too far.
Yeah.
And then Xehanort sends out his goat mask guys.
Yeah, suddenly those goat mask dudes show up in IRL, if you will, in the Keyblade world. And everyone's like, oh shit, we got to keep Kingdom Hearts at bay. We don't have time to fight these things. We're going to have to work together on this. And so they kind of all do this cool everyone get your backs together, and we're just going to fight these things off as they're coming at us.
Okay. And you're playing as everybody.
And you play as everybody in the circle, switching around, just doing like a couple combos with each of them.
And you get dialogue between people who haven't met before, who are like Roxas and Ventus work together, and they're like, "Hey, you're pretty good. You too." And they're like,
no mention that we look exactly alike, but that's fine. Yeah. I'm okay if they never address.
But you get banter between them. Like now that they're working together for the first time, they'll have combo attacks together. It's like something where you might want to look it up on YouTube because it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's coming the closest to actually selling me on trying this.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's not hard, but it's fun.
Right. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of that moment in Kingdom Hearts 3 where you're riding all the Keyblades and everybody's name is popping up and you're just like throwing them at
that. It's all quick time events and stuff, but it's really fun.
But it's a cool little flavor moment, and honestly, that's one of the reasons I play Kingdom Hearts is for those moments. It's not about the gameplay loop, which is the gameplay loop is all right. It's fine. Yeah. It is a solid, very solid action RPG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whenever I think of stuff I love about Kingdom Hearts through the years, it is events more than anything.
So it's those big anime epic, or emotional moments.
And this is definitely one of those.
You don't think about the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 as that floating around and just slowly pressing triangle while you're deflecting shit as you slowly beat Xehanort. You remember the events where it's like, oh, now I have a team attack with Riku. Go!
Now I'm holding Riku's Keyblade. We're gonna smack him with both, and it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Sora and Riku are finally together. They're fighting together, and this is that, but on a huge epic scale. All
those are the moments you remember. Those are what Kingdom Hearts was about. It was that and doing charming Disney shit. That's what Kingdom Hearts is to me. And 3 did not do enough of that.
If they had this moment, I think you would have been way more happy with the finale because everybody you've played with in these games comes together and they're fighting together and it's really fun.
This big dramatic moment, and then seems like hope is lost. People have been
everyone's been wiped out.
Everyone's been exhausted. They've been knocked out. They've been fending off these
different worlds.
These Xehanorts. They've been slapped around. The group has been separated. All that stands alone in the face of darkness is one Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
and you see he has nothing on his
health bar is all the way down. Everyone's gone. It's all beeping.
And now it's only him against these 13 guys that the group couldn't beat. And then he gets up. He's like, I gotta do it. And
camera swirls around. It's now behind him, and you just have to slowly walk forward and deflect shots as they're coming at you.
Metal Gear moment,
and it's so fucking cool. But yeah, it is exactly that Metal Gear moment of walking through the hallway where you're being obliterated, and it's just you gotta keep going, Mickey.
It's really rad.
It's so good.
They just let you beat Mickey on the verge of death, fighting back 13 guys as powerful as Xehanort by himself.
And just him slowly walking up to... I don't even remember what he's walking towards.
He's walking towards the big gate that has everybody. He wants to go in and bring everyone back. Because he also has the power of waking, I think, and that can bring everybody to him.
But yeah, so he's basically walking up to free his locked away friends, and just... the visuals they do to just have Mickey deflecting laser beams and death rays from these.
So anime in the best way possible. And again, I recommend looking up on YouTube if you don't want to play it and just at least watching that final stretch.
It will probably be a little bit until I'm ready to play it. I don't know if I'm going to look it up before that though, because this sounds like something I'd rather.
You might want to
just experience it.
And Mickey struggles, and then Sora's heart. The time-traveling heart comes in and helps him out.
Of course. To connect the very last second, to bring it all together.
And then bring them all in, and then also Sora and Kairi are finally together as well.
Yay.
Yeah, because that was the last chunk of her heart or something.
It was connected to everybody else somehow.
Because everyone is also a part of your heart, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and so Sora and Kairi are together in everyone else is kind of off in their own version of reality, while Sora and Kairi are in their version of reality.
Right.
And Sora and Kairi on their own fight their own version of Xehanort, just the two of them.
And this is when you finally get to play as Kairi.
Okay.
And you can juggle Xehanort as Kairi. You could kick his ass.
Oh, really? Since I was playing with my file, Kairi kept getting her ass kicked anytime I played as her, so I tried playing with her as 3 times, and I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to switch over to my overleveled Sora and beat this.
I died as Kairi once, but then when I figured it out, I was just juggling Xehanort as Kairi. And she's like, I hope this will work. And she's just beating the shit out. Sora's knocked out. Kairi's the one taking Xehanort down.
That's amazing, and I'm really glossing over their version of reality part of your conversation.
It's kind of unclear, but they're kind of just.
It's Kingdom Hearts, of course. It's unclear.
Yeah. Like Sora's time traveling. Kairi is able to be with him while he's time traveling. The others are kind of doing their own thing because they're in the normal timeline. So
they're in the game timeline.
Yeah. They're busy doing real shit, holding off the collapsing Kingdom Hearts.
Whereas we're doing metaphysical shit.
Yeah, we're in the spirit time part realm.
We're beating Xehanort twice.
We're beating the shit out of Xehanort before we show up to beat the shit out of Xehanort.
Yeah. And
won't that be a surprise for him?
Yeah, he's never gonna see it.
And yeah, like as Sora and Kairi, like which I guess is canon, Sora and Kairi, just the two of them, can do what Sora, Donald, Goofy barely managed much more easily. Because Sora doesn't kind of die here. They just beat him.
Slap him.
It's the power of straight love, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
Gay love doesn't get
teen romance.
Bromance. Nah.
Well, I guess I guess you could say the Kingdom Hearts 2 had the bro love, and then you have the
and that was effective.
Yeah,
but they just weren't nearly leveled up enough.
It's just the power of love. That's what always wins.
That's what Kingdom Hearts is.
But like after they finish the fight, I think is when Sora kind of confides in Kairi, just like, but doing this is going to cost me. And so that's why he disappears from that tree.
Yeah, but first they actually go back to Chirithy.
Okay,
and they're like, and Sora's like, hey Chirithy. Let's go back. Let's find that guy that you used to hang out with, and that's why Chirithy is back and goes to Ventus at the end. Is that Sora literally, like, we see now the entire ending cutscene, except now Sora and Kairi are in every single scene, like doing something, like hanging out or like pushing Chirithy to go say hi to Ventus.
Just do it.
And so like you see them, like they spent a lot of time together before Sora disappeared. Every single scene we see with everyone else, Sora and Kairi are not too far away doing their own thing as well.
It's the
they're basically going on a bunch of dates before Sora disappears.
The Forrest Gump moment of like all these iconic moments. If the camera was just this way a little bit
just
more,
literally the camera shifts.
We would have seen that Sora and Kairi were there the whole time.
Like you see everyone on the clock tower, and the camera just goes up and a little higher on the clock tower. There's Sora and Kairi eating sea salt ice cream.
Look at them.
So glad that we could bring them all together.
And yeah, so now we know why he's disappearing. Is that they explain it? I think Chirithy explains it, that after he does this, he's not allowed to exist in this world.
Okay.
In this world, basically world line in Kingdom Hearts.
In this timeline, this dimension,
this dimension with all these worlds, he's not allowed to exist there anymore because he did this. So he has to exist in some different world now, which is probably where Verum Rex is.
Yeah, which this is like. Also, you might be wondering, man, a lot of these trailers showed a bunch of Final Fantasy characters coming back. And
I have not heard a single mention of them.
Where were they? Why weren't they there? So after you get credits for this, you now have access to Limit Cut episode. Which
gives you a little bit more story. It's a year later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
Sora's gone. He's disappeared.
They're still searching for Sora and trying to figure out what happened to him, why he disappeared, if they can bring him back, etc. And the expert on that is fucking Sid, and he's typing on his computer that had you remember the DTD, the Door to Darkness, where we played with Tron.
Which Sid is this one again? Is this 7 Sid or?
I
can't remember what's
blonde dude.
7.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I haven't played enough Final Fantasy to know exactly which Sid it was.
Sid's there, Aerith's there, Yuffie's there, and boring guy's there. What's his name? Leon. Squall Leon. I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. I don't know if you can tell.
He's got a gunblade, man. He's cool.
That is a neat concept.
It is.
But they're all hanging out in Radiant Garden, so you get to see one room in Radiant Garden.
Technically, they like you can see the outside of that.
Is there a window?
Well, no. Like, there's an exterior shot and also in photo mode.
Oh, okay.
There's a data photo mode where you can go in, but like they're inside Merlin's house in Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, so that's where the computer is, and Riku shows up going like, hey, you got any more news on Sora or something like that? I can't remember exactly why he's there. They're
looking for info in Sora's data that they have saved somehow.
Okay.
But from his heart, and so they
backed him up.
They found some sort of data, and so they managed to recreate a data version of Sora
Okay.
As well as all 13.
Well, yeah. Isn't there some sort of thing where it's like they're like, yeah, we've got these data versions of the Organization 13, and within them,
we don't even know how.
They're like, but within them
is a card game back in 2003 or something.
And it's like some sort of comment where they're like, and they have important information in them that we can't access, or like they have information about Sora that we can't get to. And they're like, well, how are we going to access this? It keeps deflecting us. Like, well, what if we send in a Data Sora to fight these Data Organization members, and that's how we'll get that data out of them.
Which basically ties into the other mobile game.
Coded.
Recoded.
God.
So all the mobile games matter. Every single one. Including the ones you're not allowed to play.
Points for consistency.
But that's where the boss rush comes from. That's how they give it a real universe meaning. And I was pissed because this seemed like the perfect opportunity for them to go, we've got data versions of Sora, Aqua, Kairi, Roxas, like all the
choose your character.
Riku, that like all these characters you got to play with. You can be any of them to try and figure out this data. But no, it's just Sora. You can only be Sora.
And I get that they want you to really beat them, which I'd say the thing you should do there then is like you have to beat them as Sora, then you can play it. You can beat them as whoever you want.
Yeah, if you beat it as somebody, you unlock the next character or something like that.
Maybe they'll listen and add that in with an update or something.
It's clear that they already have those characters playable.
Yeah, so like that'd be cool. But they do have like a lot of team attacks that require the other players around. But you just phase them out.
But as far as I know, after you clear those out, because I haven't yet, is when you get to fight Yozora, right?
So he's like the super secret boss.
He's like the turbo secret. You should not be able to beat this kind of boss.
Yeah, you basically
he's the Sephiroth.
Yes.
Yeah, you basically cut to Sora. He's in the land of like sky and sea or whatever, and ocean and sky, whatever it is. He's in that afterlife place, and he's just nobody else is there. It's just him, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? Anyone here?" And then Yozora's you hear a voice, and it's like, "Hey, yeah, I'm here," and it's Yozora.
Hey, what's up, man?
Basically, and he's like, "You're Sora? For real? How do you recognize me as Yozora? I don't look like myself."
Yeah. Sora recognizes him. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're that guy, Yozora. You're from that thing." He's like, "I must be in the data world then, because you're from that." And Yozora is like, "How do you know who I am?" And he's like,
"What the fuck are you talking about?"
He's like, "No, you're like part of a game. It's cool. Hi, I'm Sora. What's up?" And suddenly Yozora's like, mood shifts really hard.
How dare you? And I'm real.
Well, then he's like, "You're Sora? All right."
Like, and just kind of like,
motherfucker.
Basically.
He's like, "What are you why are you doing this? Can't we talk this out? We're friends." Like, he's like, "I haven't done anything. I don't want to fight you. It's cool." He's like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "I'm here to protect Sora. Why are you using his name?" Or something like that.
Interesting.
And it's like really like, oh, okay. And then you fight
Sora, and if you lose, there's an ending, and if you win, there's an ending.
Okay, so it's like it's not a one and done. I'm guessing you can fight him again if you want.
As you want. If you lose, Yozora like turns Sora to ice, and it's like, "I'm gonna save you, Sora." And then you hear the beginning monologue from the first Kingdom Hearts game. In both of their voices, Yozora and Sora's.
Huh.
Like, is any of this for real or not?
Been having these weird thoughts lately.
And in both of the endings, you cut to almost the same final cutscene of Yozora sitting in a limo, waking up, seeing this wonderful city, a driver going, "It looks wonderful, doesn't it, sir?" And if you've seen Final Fantasy Versus 13 trailers, you might be like, "This is really familiar," and it's because it's the exact
shot remake of that trailer.
Well, I mean, he was supposed to be the main character in that game, right? Like in the concept stages before they decided to swap it over to 15.
Well, Yozora looks a lot like early stage Noctis.
Yes, and basically, and then we already thought this. We were already making jokes about this, but this makes it loud and clear. I'm making Final Fantasy Versus 13, motherfucker.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, like, you can't stop me.
And I'm tying it into Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah,
shut up.
Which this reminds me, we didn't talk about this scene. The actual very first thing they show in this DLC is explaining that one cutscene that got caught up in the middle of it in the weird way in Hercules' world with Zigbar being like, watching them try and look for the black box that was important to him.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, "May your heart be your guiding key," and then it cuts out really weird in the base game. And this we see he stays there for a second. Then organization member Gambler Luxord shows up. He's like, "Hey, why'd you have me looking for that box? Because I checked with the higher ups, none of them know what you're talking about.
They didn't. You said they asked me to do this. They did not ask me to do this. You want me to do this?
He's like, I'm pretty sure you're the only one who cares about this box. So what's the big deal about it?
And of course, Xigbar is secretly Lushu, who was back in like the origins of the entire universe of Kingdom Hearts.
Which is all still going over my head to this day.
The thing is, so was a couple other members of Organization 13. That's not explained yet.
Yeah.
Because we know Marluxia existed back then, and
yeah, they're all thousands of years old.
She's Elrana in
was
the
Larxene.
game.
Larxene is also in the mobile game as like major characters.
Right.
But Luxord shows up and basically was like, so why are you doing this? I think you got some sort of connection to this box, and you can't tell anyone why you want us to look for it, otherwise we might figure out your connection to it. And he's like, well, I don't know, it's got secrets and stuff. And
Luxord, know.
And Luxord's just like, okay, I'm cool playing ignorant for now. Bye.
And basically saying, pretty much.
And notably, it sounds like the exact same voice actor for Luxord, who's playing the driver of Yozora.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So now there's the connection of like, is this dude from that universe?
And the driver is blonde. So what the fuck is going on is the question. And how the heck is this gonna, like, obviously, I think what we can surmise is that Sora is gonna be in the universe of Verum Rex somehow, some sort of Square-centric, it seems like.
They're making their multiverse now.
During the fight with Yozora, the arena around you is kind of shifting and changing, and for a while it becomes the World Ends With You Shibuya place where we've seen from that cutscene. So the implication is that's where somewhere where this is happening.
They're just dropping Sora into weird square mishmashes now.
So
seems like it.
The theory Kieran had that I'm beginning to believe is Nomura's like, working with Disney is what slows this stuff down. It's going through their legal team and figuring out what we're allowed to work with and what we're not. That slows the production of these games.
That makes sense.
So what if we took that Disney shit out of here and New Kingdom Hearts you're going from Square World to Square World and doing stuff there. Which I can totally see that being the direction they're going, and just being like,
at least for a while.
Yeah, and just being like, all right, guess what? Now you're playing Versus 13, and Sora might be there in some sort of spirit way, and
it makes it sound like he's going to be like a named character that Sora is going to come to care with, care about in some way.
Yeah, so I am betting that it's going to be you're playing Versus 13 under a new name and with some different universe implications, and Sora might be there, and that's the Kingdom Hearts connection. Or maybe they just keep calling it Kingdom Hearts, and Kingdom Hearts is now this weird anthology, Nomura just does whatever he wants with it now thing. But
only time will tell, I guess. I mean, it sounds like he has a plan, but
you never know.
And I'll say, meanwhile, in the mobile game.
Oh yeah. Also, real quick, because we did mention that there's a different cutscene for if you win or if you lose.
Oh yeah. If you win,
if you win, it's essentially the same thing because it ends with that Versus 13 trailer redone. But
he doesn't get frozen into ice. I'm guessing.
But the difference is Yozora now is basically kneeling over and just going like, "Guess my power wasn't needed." And does he turn to ice or does he just disappear?
I think he just disappears.
Okay.
Fuck this, I'm out.
But I will say, either way. The very last credit you ever see in Kingdom Hearts 3, I think,
Dylan Sprouse
as Yozora.
So hey, sweet life of Zack and Cody. Live long enough to be a Kingdom Hearts villain.
All right.
But in the mobile game, meanwhile.
Yeah. Now this is all you.
Oh.
This is not stuff I've been looking into.
Darkness. Someone who calls themselves Darkness is a character. So the person that warns Sora off from Ventus's heart, which Ventus also exists in that back in the day.
Gotcha.
Back then, is named Darkness. We don't know who they are. Some people think it is Master Ava, who is a name I don't know, so that's fine.
What? You've forgotten her from the movie?
You forgot our thing that we posted a year ago?
Dude, my brain burned out halfway through that. You zoomed in on my face.
So Master Ava is one of the 6 masters that include Lushu, who's bars secretly, and the other guys with the animal masks. Mm-hmm. She's the pink one. And some people think that she is calling herself Darkness now and going around trying to mess with the Master of Masters' plan because he basically intentionally caused a tragic, horrible war that killed everybody. And basically split up all the worlds.
He essentially caused the Jedi Purge.
Well, yeah, and also caused basically Pangea to split up on a worldwide scale because all these Disney worlds used to be one connected world. And basically he manufactured, by knowing the future, the war that split everybody up.
And all with their own art styles and stuff, too. It's crazy how they separated like that.
And we're lucky all those borders were along the same change of art style.
And so some people think that Master Ava came in and is intentionally fucking with his plan, trying to stop whatever he's planning on doing, because she doesn't even know. She just knows this guy's an asshole.
He's doing something, and I don't fucking like it.
He tricked all of us. And so she put in her own mole in the second group of masters that exist in the second version of the same timeline that exists in a data version of the world.
Okay.
Where all the characters who somehow survived the war basically snuck into in order to survive.
Right. Their little
they stuck
arc.
to a little pocket dimension, basically, that relived everything that happened in the mobile game, but without the war happening.
Okay.
So there's 5 different masters that were chosen by Ava, and one of them is named Brain. I don't know why. His name's Brain. It turns out once you see his face, looks a lot like Master Ericus.
Okay.
It's unclear why, but he's...
That's Mark Hamill, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
And he's like basically her mole, and he's trying to find the imposter in the group, who is a second person who does not belong there. That person turns out to be Ventus, and Ventus didn't even know.
Ventus was an unknowing mole.
That paragraph is the most Kingdom Hearts thing I've heard.
Yeah.
That mole happened to be Ventus, but he didn't know yet.
Meanwhile, Marluxia's looking for his murdered sister.
Okay.
And his name's Lorium, I think. And yeah. He's looking for his murdered sister, who someone murdered. Some people think Master Ava murdered her as well. And now the world seems to be fucking imploding that they exist in. And so we don't know what's going to happen next now.
That's where the mobile game's
But the
at.
idea is that maybe they'll all get into a sort of basically time ship that exists that'll save them.
They'll just all hop in a fucking TARDIS.
And basically they hop off at different moments, and that's how they end up in different points in time throughout the series.
Okay.
Spider-Verse logic, gotcha.
Kinda, yeah. So that's what's happening in the mobile game. That's who Darkness is.
Potentially.
Theoretically.
Well, Darkness is at least a person who has been manipulating things and talked to Maleficent, who they somehow brought into this fake world back in time, and then sent her back after she was done.
Also an important... An important question that was answered in the Remind DLC. Sora also sees Naminé floating through space and goes, "Yo, you should go to that world with the ocean and sky.
Yeah, go to the land of ocean and sky.
We'll meet up there later."
That'll probably help.
So that's why her soul is there.
Yeah. Well, and then when they do the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead version of the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, they show Sora getting Naminé out of Kairi's heart and putting her in the replica. In the replica, and that's how she's back.
Okay.
So that's how they got Naminé back in.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. As much as anything does.
Yeah, I don't know. He told her to leave. It was like, what, don't you want her to stay in Kairi's heart? Because then you unlock whatever.
Don't worry. It makes about as much sense as everything else.
I guess Kairi's heart was split up, so maybe she had to go there and then come back.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You're just making excuses now.
Well, I mean, Kairi's heart was split.
Look, the less you answer, the more it makes sense.
So yeah, that's what's going on in Kingdom Hearts right now. The story continues.
They've got a new mobile game they've announced.
About Xehanort.
Yeah.
All about him.
Called Dark Road.
Dark Road.
Okay.
Which is probably going to be about maybe after he talks to Master of Masters,
maybe
what he does.
I wonder if the finale of that is we get to hear the Master of Masters' name. And
maybe.
And then I'll be right.
When the mobile game comes out, I will
If
try it and put it away.
they drop all the biggest shit in these mobile games, why? Is it because they're easier to do?
Look, I hate to be the cynic about this. They probably make more money for the least amount of input financially.
You are probably right. You are probably absolutely right.
It's one of those, we make a small game that will have an enormous return.
Well, that's the thing. Most people don't give a shit, right? But you have whales.
Yeah.
Who put money into the game and make them extra money while they're doing this other stuff. And that's what's going on. Like, it's shady business shit, but it's Square Enix. Like that. You
gotta make that money. I get it, and you want to reward the people who are the most invested. That makes,
but it makes
sense.
Games.
It just feels.
Yeah. It makes really shitty broken games.
It does. It absolutely does.
Because Union Cross sucks. It's a terrible game. That's why I don't play it. I look at YouTube videos for other people who also don't play it, collect information.
And it's
essentially watching the wiki.
And because it's like an online, ongoing thing, very real that game will one day be shut down and there will be no way to play it.
And it plays out in real time. You get story updates over time, and that's why it's taking so long.
That's one thing that Square Enix is honestly really good at. I play Final Fantasy XIV on and off, and they continuously update that game with new content.
I've heard the newest stuff in Final Fantasy XIV is like some of the best Final Fantasy stuff people have said they've ever done.
Yeah, so Final Fantasy XIV is nothing but like once you get past like the main parts, like the 1.0 main storyline game, it is nothing but a nostalgia bomb. Every new DLC brings in stuff that is related to other Final Fantasies that you've played in the past. Right now they're doing a whole bunch of stuff with 8, which is interesting, but they brought in like the Gunblade class, and a lot of the raids feature prominently many of the villains or monsters from other Final Fantasy games that were very popular when you were playing through those. So it's definitely a nostalgia bomb, and they know very well what they're doing.
I want, when the next Kingdom Hearts game is coming out, for there to be a Final Fantasy XIV event that's only a week long, where like it either involves Yozora or Sora. Just Sora's like, what the fuck? Why am I here?
Where am I?
You say that, but they have a Nier raid.
Yeah,
so I would not be shocked if once Kingdom Hearts is completely separated from Disney that they do that.
It could be canon that Sora suddenly shows up in 14. He's like,
and it probably will be. It probably will be.
And you like have a quest where he's like, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Those aren't kobolds. They're heartless.
Like Sora's little companion that follows you around for a while.
I mean, honestly, the way it would be is he'd be like a cutscene character, and then you'd go through your party raid, and then he'd show up in cutscenes. Yeah. He'd be in the background doing stuff.
Have him hopping between Final Fantasy games until the next game.
That might honestly be what they're going for. It seems to be what they're implying is that, Sora's just going to be existing otherwhere in a bunch of our other properties. Watch, there's going to be a fucking Easter egg of him showing up in the Marvel game that's coming out or something. What am I doing here? Oh, the mouse does own this one. I'm not allowed.
But yeah, like I'm starting to bet that like the next iteration of Kingdom Hearts is going to be, we need to go to a different realm. We're going to find Sora, and hey, guess what? That different realm is just a bunch of Squaresoft worlds, and have fun traveling through your Dragon Quests and your Final Fantasies and your Niers, which, hey, you know what? That sounds awesome to me, so I'm into it.
I fully believe you when you say that Versus 13 is probably going to be the next game that he's putting out, or whatever he's going to end up calling it. It might just be Verum Rex.
Yeah.
It will probably not specifically say Versus 13, but it will be like a V and a TH sound as like the two subtitle words.
It might just be Verum Rex. You have your marketing built in.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think. How many Kingdom Hearts games have we had total so far?
All right, we got one. Chain of Memories. 2. Coded. 358/2. Birth by Sleep. Dream Drop.
Dream Drop Distance, yeah.
Do we consider 2.8 Final Chapter or whatever?
Momentary. Okay, what about Aqua's thing?
Well, that's what I mean.
Okay, it's a momentary passive.
Yeah, and then 3.
So that's 9 games.
And now the mobile game, and then 2 mobile games.
Yeah.
So 11.
2 versions of that, so 11. Yeah. And then the next mobile game coming out 12. So the next game will be the 13th game.
Oh! Versus 13!
Oh! Cracked it!
You heard it here first.
Cracked that code.
You heard it here first.
Code has been cracked.
Solve the mystery.
We got your number.
Something.
No, we're solid on this, right? We got to be solid on this.
Do not fact check us. We're the only facts here.
That is how it's going down. There's no other answer. There's no other answer to that. I can't wait to see Versus 13. Kingdom Hearts Versus 13.
Boom. No more, we're on to you.
That's how it is. That's how it's going to be. And this has been the Talkcast Pod Show. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody.